Seven College Nerds! So, do you want to know what I expected for the 7th movie? Well, I don't have anything filmed because of this. And this. And finally this. Yes, that was my friends and I celebrating because we succeeded in sneaking me out of the house. Because my parents wouldn't let me go to the midnight premiere. Yeah, and they came over, they rang the doorbell, my parents were all in bed, and then they started yelling. Some horrible Shizznit went down, and when they were back to sleep, I snuck out. Well, my grandma found out because she saw on the screen door that one of the little key things was like this instead of like that. So she knew I had snuck out, and then she told my mom. They're now really mad because, I mean, what can they do now that it's over? But they're not telling my dad, so shh. So we got to the movie about 15 minutes before it started. So obviously my friends and I had to be split up, and there weren't a whole lot of seats available. But it was still really awesome because I felt like most of the people in that theater were like your friends, because obviously they were so dedicated to the movie, and they weren't going to care what you were dressed as or your reactions because they were going to be feeling the same way. One thing that I did not like was that before we saw the movie, we saw a trailer for one of Taylor Lautner's new movies, and as soon as he came on the screen, all the girls were like, ooh! And I did not like that. I did not like that at all. But my expectations for the movie was that I was going to cry a lot, it was going to be really sad, and it was also going to be the most amazing thing ever. Fast forward a week. I've actually seen the movie twice, because once I went with my friends, and then a couple of days ago I went with my sister and her friend. Seeing the movie twice is actually kind of therapeutic for me, because the days after I saw the first one I was so depressed, and the only way I got myself to feel better was by telling myself that in a couple of days I was going to go see the movie again. So right at the beginning, I got chills when you heard that little voice singing thing in the music and you saw Snape looking down at the students. And that was really sad. Yeah. I love how the part where Harry and Ron were taking off their shirts, everyone in the theater was kind of like, ooh, and laughing, and I was laughing too. Sorry, I just saw something. I was like, what the heck? Okay. Oh, and when Harry, Ron, and Hermione first got back into the castle, and everyone was so excited to see them, and then all the banter between them and Seamus, and when Ginny saw Harry for the first time and she wasn't excited to see Ron, and all that stuff, oh, it just makes me so happy. And then all the McGonagall scenes, and when they cast their wands up and did their Protego shield all around the castle. Well, there was this one moment when Draco was on the back of Harry's broom, and I was the only one in the theater who went like, oh. And that made me feel kind of alone, but whatever. The saddest scene for me would have to be after the room of requirement, when Harry, Ron, and Hermione were trying to find Snape and Voldemort, and they had to fight their way through the castle, and when they saw Lavender and Fernier Greyback, that was the most heart-wrenching scene, and the really most haunting scene, I thought. And I don't think anything else in the movie made me as sad as that. So, Alan Rickman's death scene, why don't we just take all the awards and give them to Alan Rickman? That makes sense, right? I thought the Princess Tale chapter was really, really cool, and the kids were so adorable, and I really liked that tree. I think it was the scene after the Princess Tale when Harry was done looking at Snape memories and he kind of sat down on the office floor, and you can hear everybody in the theater just going like, and it made me kind of laugh. And I tried my best not to like make any noises, but I thought it was so cool how everyone was feeling the same way, because I'm corny like that. Like I said, everything in the movie just gave me chills. When Harry was in his King Cross Station in-between place, that baby thing, Horcrux, Voldemort thing, was really, really, really creepy. Yeah, whenever I talk and I can't find the right words, I just say thing. Thing. That thing. Help will always be given at Hogwarts to those who deserve it. So let's talk about Voldemort and his smile. Did you see his dimple? He had a really nice dimple. What am I saying? Yeah, I love how everyone was laughing and Voldemort was laughing. And have you ever seen Voldemort laugh before? Like, really? Genuinely? Because I feel like every else time he laughed it was sarcastic, but this time it seemed so real. And the Draco hug. Yeah, that was priceless. Like, I love how good the Harry Potter films are at mixing like drama and comedy, because you get like these funny moments in places you don't expect them and they make you feel a whole lot better. And then we had the Harry and Voldemort almost kissing scene. Yeah, that was pretty weird. And then some more Neville being badassy. And then the ending when Harry broke the Elder's wand. He didn't fix his own wand. That made me a bit mad. But whatever. We can sell past that. And then they're looking on that bridge thing. They're looking out. The castle behind them. And then you're feeling so desperate for more. But then you're like, wait, we have an epilogue coming. It's not over yet. And then you see their kids. And then when Daniel Radcliffe finally came on screen, the whole theater started laughing because he looked kind of weird grown up. And then we saw Draco grown up, and then more people started laughing, and then we saw Ron grown up, and then more laughing. I think the only people who looked normal grown up were Ginny and Hermione. Not normal, but they just looked natural, and like, I don't know, the guys kind of looked a little weird. But it was hilarious and sad. And then when they got on the train, and then that music, and then they showed their faces, and fade to black. When I went for the second time, I realized that was the last time I was going to go to the theaters to watch a Harry Potter movie. That was the last time a Harry Potter movie was going to be out in theaters. So, a couple of nights ago, I read for 6 hours straight. 6 hours, yeah. Do you know how many pages I read? 13. I'm still on Goblet of Fire, and every time I read like even a word or a sentence, I would stop and think about it, and it always made me really sad. Like, I would read the word and I would stop and be like, oh my god, and I just couldn't continue reading. Like, I still find it a little hard to read. Is that weird? I don't know. I think I'm getting better at it. But what's kept me going is Pottermore, and I believe that, I mean, I know Harry Potter will continue, because I know it'll never stop, and I don't like, I don't like it when people say goodbye to Harry Potter. And then there's the encyclopedia we have to look forward to, and I honestly do believe that Harry Potter will continue in some way.